Right then, guys. So, back in early January 2019, I ordered myself a Tevo Nereus 3D printer. Obviously, like, this video has been a long time coming because it's towards the end of 2019. In fact, it's 2020 by the time that this will be coming out, sort of, kind of. Right. Anyway, so I ordered myself a printer, and it came sort of kind of mid-May type deal. It was a long time coming. It was ordered from China, from the Tevo factory itself. Oh, there I am, handsome beast. And yeah, it was really, really well packed. There was like little compartments of all the cables and things, and it came partly assembled. Like the main carriages, like the base and everything was in there. So we got like a book of instructions and things, and like little stickers and things that we probably won't use that much. I never do use manuals. So we'll have a little flip through that. But yeah. Damn it, Jim. Stop throwing things away. Various different USB cables, but oh man, they only give you small cables in things like this. What do you think you're going to plug it into? It's like even your PC. It's going to be a ways away from it. So the cables that they give you are pretty naff. That's just a power cable, I think. Yeah, it's just a power cable, but it's one of them 3-pin PC ones, but it's the one with the two pin prongs. So yeah, I won't be using that. I'll be getting my own one with the earth on because we're in the UK. Yeah, you get like a poopy spatula thing. A spatula, is that the right word? A scraper to scrape your prints off the board. A PTFE liner. And that's the LCD screen. Ooh, very crispy. Right, I don't like the way that this fits on. It actually bolts onto the side of the printer and not at the front or something like. I would have preferred it to be different. Again, it's packed immensely well. I'll just say that. But it's come a long way. And it travelled, oh my god. Well, it took ages to get here. Right, little bags of screws of things like feet and whatnot. And there's like all the screws to finish the assembly off. Yeah, it does come part assembled, and there is a fair chunk of it assembled. There is only like one or two little bits that you have to put together. Right, what else have we got in here? Yeah, more screws, bits and bobs. Nothing of real interest, but each bag is labelled for a different part, so it's easy to assemble. It's not like rocket science. Right, so this is the main carriage. Again, it's really well packed in there. And that's the printing head as well, so that's all part of it. A little bit tight. Yeah, so I've got like a gaming channel, but I thought I'd put this on my second channel. I recorded the footage earlier on. I thought I was going to put it on, but YouTube have recently, if anybody doesn't know, that YouTube is going to crap. So I decided to keep the gaming and the tinkering side of things separate. So that's why I've thought of, I've got a second channel, and I'd upload stuff like this too. Alright. So this is the base, all in one. Again, it's quite well packed. It's quite hard to get out as well. And there she be. It's quite weighty as well to say what it is. But I do like how they've covered all the electronics up. I made a printer. I basically made one myself, following diagrams and bits and bobs, and ordering pieces from China here, there, and everywhere, and eBay bits. And yeah, it was a mass tangle of wires. I ought to do like a video on it. It was a pain in the butt. It was always breaking down. But I got some good prints off it when I got it working. To say it was sort of a homemade thing, it was quite well. But this one is really well made. It's all sturdy. All the bits fit together. Again, there's only just bits that we've got to put together, like assembling the feet and things. That's a deal. So I think we ought to insert some like calming music in here. Or just leave it. A lot of people like to see these the bits where you screw bits together. I mean, I'm only screwing feet in. It's not rocket science. But all the cables, they're all bound up as well. They've all got plugs on. They're all labelled. You just get the right amount of screws. Oh, it is a quite good piece of kit. And it's customable as well. Customable. Is that even a word? Yeah, you could sort of kind of add upgrades and stuff to it, which I will be doing. I have bought upgrades. It's just that it prints so well out of the box. I've got all these upgrades in mind, but I just not got round to it yet. I've just not got round to it just because every time I print on it, it just works. Just straight out of the box, it just works. I have done a couple of things, like I've changed the plate as well. I bought one of those like metal plates, like a stainless steel plate, so it prints directly onto there instead of printing on the sticker bed. It's a lot easier to get prints off. Not that the sticker itself that I put on in a bit is bad. It's just that this stainless steel plate is a lot better. So there we go. That's the assembly for the base. There's like springs and things in there as well, because the bed is, you sort of have to level the bed. We'll go through like the bed leveling process in a bit. But yeah, this is just the general assembly of the said bed. Again, all the parts, all the components and everything you need come in. Watch it, damn it, Jim, don't lose it. They come in individual bags, so it's all labelled. So we just basically put that through there, put a spring on, and then put the adjusting screw on the bottom, the adjusting wheel, so we can adjust the tension, because the bed needs to be perfectly flat. You need a perfectly flat surface to print to, obviously, for your first layer to go down to. You're dealing in microns in measurements, which is like less than millimeters, so you really do need it to be nice and flat. Oh, there we go. Damn it, Jim. It would have been easier to put the things all on the side, but no. I like to come at things from a different way, I'll say that. You know, people are looking at this and going, Jim, why don't you just keep them to the side? That would be wise. Ah, well. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Just put a little bit of tension on each wheel as I put it in. Put like the spring and then the tension on. Because we do like the filing, leveling later on. But just for now, we're just getting everything together. Right, so that's that bit done. So now we've just got to adjust the carriage. Well, basically it is like from the manufacturers, they basically put it loosely together. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically like adjusting the bed so it moves a lot smoother. There is a slight adjustment on there. You've just got to get it so your bed doesn't rattle, but you don't want it too tight that the bed actually pinches as it's being dragged backwards and forwards, because it'll wear out the wheels and everything. Yeah, it's a quite robust fix. Although if I did some larger prints, tall prints, I'd probably want to put some stabilizer bars on there. Now, I don't know. I've not tried any tall prints as of yet. But you do get a tiny bit of wobble. And, I mean, you can see it now. I mean, it's not tightened up, but you get a tiny little bit of wobble. The higher you go, the more it's exaggerated. So... I'd probably look to put some stabilizer bars. Right, this is my old printer. This is this one. Oh my god, it's all dusty. It's all neglected. It's got printed parts. I basically printed parts out on it, upgraded it. The steel frame came from a local supplier that I know, and it's a good thick 6mm piece of aluminium plate. A PC power supply, because it's a 12-volt thing. It's like a Frankenstein's monster, really. It's like cables are going everywhere. They're all zip tied. There's a little. That's the controller box on the back. That's where all the electronics are. It's got feet. It's got ball feet on, basically to cushion it out and do stuff. But yeah, so I went from that one to this one. Yeah, I was hit by the 3D printing bug like many years ago. It's not a new technology, believe it or not. It's been out for quite some time. It's just mainly like hackers and tinkerers that took it up. I mean, like the guy Prusa, the Prusa i3. That guy was like a coder and a tinkerer, and now he manufactures printers. Right, just assembling the head. As you can see, it's coming together quite well, and I like the colour scheme as well, like the orange and black. It goes quite well together. Right, this is the LCD screen. Now, this is the only design, I don't know, what would you call it? I wouldn't say a fault, or it's just poorly designed, really. I mean, it sticks out to the side. It's a touch screen as well. I mean, it works. It's quite good. But I think it would have been better if they would have placed it somewhere else along the front or something, or even to the side. So it doesn't stick out. It just looks ugly in my opinion. I mean, they've spent a lot of time hiding all the extruded aluminium frame. They've done a nice little orange cover for all the electronics and that, and then you stick that on the side and it just looks ugly. Obviously that is quite subjective. Ooh, satisfying peel. Yeah, it is subjective, but in my opinion, I just think that would be better placed elsewhere. And here we are. It is quite noisy. Right, we're into the bed leveling now. So what I've done is I've preheated the bed, and I've also preheated the nozzle, which is mostly important. So you need to have everything as at the temperature you would have if you were going to print, even though it's just a basic dry run setup. So it's got positions on the actual LCD touchscreen that if you touch it, it will automatically go to. And all I'm doing here is just getting an ordinary sheet of paper and just going to position 1, position 2, and then just leveling the bed. Really, I should have put the paper down first, but yeah, you can tell if it's too tight, you just adjust the feet. I say feet, they're not feet, are they? Just adjust the adjusters till your paper gets in, and then you adjust it back till it's just, you can feel it just scraping on your paper. So you just move your paper forwards and back, and you just want to be feeling just that little scrape of the nozzle, not too much that it pinches it and binds, just a slight scrape. And then there are 5 points on the actual bed, 4 corners in the center. So if we go to point 3, that should automatically go over there. I did a rough setup as it was cold, so I basically moved it round the points cold and did a rough setup. But obviously, once you get it to printing temperature, the metals are going to just ever so slightly warp, only a little bit, but it just really matters. Well, I'm using a sheet of paper for a gauge. You can get proper feeler gauges for it. It's probably recommended, but there are, like, just normal printed paper will do, or something like. I normally use like till receipts as well, because they're just a little bit thinner. So like till receipts, once you heat them up as well, they'll go black. Like it looks like it's putting pen on the paper, but it's not. It's because it's receipts are heat-proof paper, but this one's just ordinary paper. Right, so there we go. It's all set up, and my first print is a little cube. So I've just made myself, what is it, like a 20 by 20 cube, and I'm just testing all the sides for measurements, just to make sure that everything's all okie dokie. There are settings that you can actually do in the firmware just to change it as well, just to change the amount of filament that's extruded in. I'm not going to go into it too much in this video, but basically it's just to tighten down the settings, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Right then, so this is it. This is my first ever print off, and if you can't tell, it's a gym pop. Right, so this is where it all began. So there it is. That is the finished thing. I printed a couple out, and yeah, so that's it. That's me putting my print together up and working. Right, thanks guys, see you in the next one.